Hi everyone, welcome to day 6 of our Valentine Mini Series. Today we'll be mostly using the Sassy Club. As always, all the products will be linked down below. Here you can see one that I made of camera. It's an interactive planter pot and I basically am using it with Sassy Club stamps to give it a nice scene. This is the planter die and the yucca plant die from the stem market that we're using to create our interactive. And I'm using the spring blossom stencil from Fawn. And then from the Sassy Club, I'm using Honey Bear, Rue, Dream On, and another one which we'll come to. You need 2 pieces of that big piece and 2 pieces of the other big piece in your die, and then I've got the greenery out of some light green cardstock. This actually is quite an easy interactive card, but it's been a while since I used it, so that's what the main reason why I made one off camera. And talking about crafting a hat, it's actually Valentine's, a Mother's Day card. So yeah, that was just by coincidence because that Rue stamp set from the Sassy Club has an amazing Mother's Day sentiment. So I was like, and I used purple. It's a favorite color of my mother-in-law, so why not? Here I'm using the first layer of that spring blossom stencil with apple from the stem market inks, and it's easily to line up because it has these leaves etched in the stencil, so you can definitely see well where your next layer is going to need to be. Here I'm using party pink for the flowers basically, and I'm using quite a heavy layer because my cardstock is already, well, not dark pink, medium pink I would say, so I do want it to show up nicely. Look how cute. And then we'll use the third layer in raspberry, I believe, from the stamp markers to add our details in. Oh, I cannot believe this is already the almost the last day of our Valentine's series. The last one will be tomorrow. I hope you guys really liked it. I already have a theme in mind for our next mini series, so I will keep that secret for now, but it's a one big secret. Well, anyway, I just don't want to tell yet. And here I'm using cactus to shade my yucca plant. If you guys know me longer or watch me longer, then I like to ink my die cuts. If you're new, welcome, and I like to ink my die cuts. Just love the dimension it gives, and it just adds a lot to your card. This is just my opinion. You do you. If you don't want to do this, then definitely skip it. I just like it. So yeah. Here I'm gonna use a Catherine Puller ink actually. I think, yes, icing on the cake. The stamp marker sadly doesn't have very, well, they only have one brown, and yeah, we need more. We need more. So I'm using Catherine Puller here. You can see I pointed out that there's 3 fold lines that the die creates, and I'm just gonna fold them all away from me, so you could get like this triangle if you fold it. And here we have 3 on the flap, 1 here and 1 there. We'll do the same. That can be used if you don't want it to fold in, but I do want it to be able to fold in, so I'm just gonna attach that with some double-sided tape so it's on the way. And off camera I did that to all 4 pieces basically. Here I'm using the Honey Bear stamp set from the Sassy Club to create my sentiment. I would suggest stamping it on well, you haven't assembled your interactive part, otherwise it will be much more difficult. And I'm just stamping that multiple times to get a nice crisp look. And now it's time to attach these 2 panels together. You will just attach this flap to the other part and then just stick it down, and then fold it over itself basically and attach the other flap. And then you already have the base shape of your planter box. How cute is that? Very nice and easy. And now I'm just, assembling this yucca plant. You can do the leaves wherever you think they look good, basically. They're not the same for both cards for me, so I just like to play around with it and, see where I like the leaves to go. So any guesses for our next Mini Serie team, which one I picked. I'm very curious if someone will guess it. If you guys would like a certain poll or something where you can leave a comment what you would like to see as a mini series after that, let me know. Because now I was like, I'm just gonna decide, but I don't mind having some suggestions to choose from. So definitely let me know in a PM, comment, whatever you want. Here we go. I'm just gonna let that dry a little bit because that's the downside about using ink. Like if you try to assemble it straight after, then it just doesn't dry as well. Here you can see these two will go together, and then those small ones will make the ground, the base of our planter box here. So I'm just gonna attach those two together and leave the where they meet basically in the middle, leave that open because our yucca plant needs to go and be sandwiched in between there, if that makes sense. Here you can see me making an oopsie. I think I filmed it. Yeah, I'm wanting to attach this, but then it's very difficult to put that yucca plant in, of course, because that's why we left the top part of our ground open. So yeah, definitely put stuff in there first, sandwich it, and then put a ground piece in your planter box, okay? And make sure your sentiment, if you stamped one, is up the right way. Because maybe in my previous card that I did a few months ago, I needed to start over because of that. So I was very like keeping track of that my sentiment was up the right way. Then you just sort of squeeze it in and play around with it until you have it nice and smooth. Here you can see that roof stamp set I used for the other one. Oh yeah, bear and pig I used for a bee, and then honey bear for Pooh and the honey pot, and then dream on for like the clouds, the sun, and a bee as well, I believe. So just shop your Pooh Bear stash, you guys. Time for some coloring of our cutie here. I'm using my Ola markers. As always, my affiliate link is down below if you want to try them out. And I'm using 3 colors of yellow to sort of give him, a little bit of dimension. So he's not just very plain yellow, I suppose. You could go with a more orangey yellow as well if you prefer. I've done that before. I used like this yellow, more orange yellow for him. Just do what you like. I will do the shirt in the, red colors that we're all used to. And I'm going to use some pinks for his cute little cheeks and the bottom of his feet, basically. This is still one of my favorite Pooh Bear sets, the Honey Bear one. Although the Woods one has my heart as well. Because the Eeyore on there is just adorable. And Eeyore is my favorite, you guys, from this fandom. So the Woods and Forest Friends, I believe it's called, also has Tigger and Eeyore on them. And yeah, just love those, to be honest. Well, anyway. And I'm just using some white highlights, no overlay with pencils today. Like I said, it depends on my mood and everything. And today I wasn't feeling it. I was like, no, let's just keep it at our alcohol marker. So we're using the Jelly Roll pen instead of the Posca one. I explained it in previous videos. The Posca one works better over pencils than the Jelly Roll. So that is why. But since we're not using it, we can just do this. Now it's time. Here you can see. You can just pull that bottom part up. The crown piece you can still reach with your fingers. And then it can fold flat to send it into an envelope. Now it's time to assemble this. And I'm just going to use the honey pot to the right and then Pooh Bear next to it. If you want to, basically, because my backside will not look that pretty. That's sometimes the downside about an interactive card. You could do it as multiple ways by, if you want the front and the back to be nice, by mirror stamping, for example, or just layer another yucca plant behind and then create another sheen there. It can be done. My previous card did that. For these two, I just decided on the front. I think this is so cute. And with this sentiment, it actually can be used as a Valentine's card. I've got my mind on my honey and my honey on my mind, or other way around. I don't know. I cannot read it from here. But it's just very cute. And I squeezed a Mother's Day card in. Like, yay. Sometimes it's nice that you want to try something out before videoing it because it's been a while. Oh, here you have my two cards that I used using Sassy Club products. Products will be linked down below, and be sure to check out my Instagram to see the full post as well. If you have any questions about this die or about pre-orders, feel free to reach out. And thank you for watching, everyone. Hope to see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.